Hey everybody, welcome to the Crypto Sherpa Special Edition show with Steve Blanco, where we're going to be talking about crypto. Well, man, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin today. We're going to be talking about the conference. We're going to talk about just us holding down the fort here at both of our clubs. So, Steve, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm psyched to be here as always.
I know, don't we just wish we could have been at the conference, but somebody's got to hold down the fort, right?
That's right, man. I mean, yes, of course, it would be cool to be at the conference, obviously, right? Everybody's there.
Mm-hmm. It is, and especially on day one. There. Yeah, Michael Saylor, Cynthia Loomis. Is it Loomis or Lummis? I was saying that on today's show, and I've heard you say Lummis, but I always say Loomis.
I've been saying Lummis. I think she says Lummis, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, who knows?
all I know is she's cool.
Yeah. Oh, she is really cool. And it's really cool that Ben and Heidi got a photo with her. Like, I don't know how long they were with her. If it was just a quick, like, walk on by. It's like, let's grab a photo or not. But I thought that was pretty cool.
I love that they got a photo op with Senator Lummis. That's amazing.
I know. Here, we got them right here. Boom. Yep, look at them.
Nice. That's so cool.
I know. Like, that picture is just powerful, right? Just that big news. We have Senator with Bitcoin Ben, we're rocking our Crypto Club shirt logo. It's like that shot is so powerful for where we're heading in crypto, and everything they're discussing right now is just crazy. They're just saying like the United States is all in on Bitcoin right now, and that's like just what everybody's talking about there. So I was doing like my recap like on the show today on my earlier show, just going over the articles, but every single one of them just like talking about, yeah, the government's going to buy this Bitcoin. We're not selling this one. Like, it's the golden standard. It's not the gold standard. It is the golden standard. So what are your thoughts on like what's been going on so far?
My thoughts are absolute astonishment, really. I mean, every time I hear them talk about the quantity of BTC that will be purchased, of course, I'm assuming they're really going to go through with it. It sounds like they are.
It really does.
Like what, to your point, to what you're alluding to, like when you listen to Senator Lummis speak, I mean, she is very serious about what she's talking about, and it's very well thought out. And by the way, it's not new for her. You know, she's been involved in this for a long time. She's been in the space a long time, and she's been a champion of this whole, basically, what I would call a personal sovereignty movement. You know, right? And but yeah, they were throwing crazy numbers out, right? What's the number? Like 290. What is it? What was the
which number specifically again? Which one? There were so many numbers thrown out because you got like Donald Trump Jr. with Rumble 2.5 billion. They want still 1 million, and
no, none of that stuff. None of the Trump kid stuff. I'm talking about Lummis talking. She was the Bitcoin, the reserve numbers. She was talking about like 200 and something Bitcoin or something.
Or was she talking about the ones we had already? Because I think
No, she was talking about what they're going to want, what the plan is to purchase over the next 10 years or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, so that would be like 250 per year because like the acquire the million about. Yeah, was about like for a 4-year plan to acquire 1 million Bitcoin. So it's got to be at least 250 each year. And they might need to do it faster.
Yeah, they might have to ask Michael Saylor to help them out, you know?
Who knows if he would? That's going to cut into their bags. Like,
I don't think he would.
Like they're already holding 560. He holds to over twice of what the United States has.
I mean, it's profound. I think he would help them in the sense of like help guide them. But I don't think he'll, he's not going to mess with his stash.
No, he's planning that to loan out to them later. He's not going to sell it to them. He'll let you borrow it, but he ain't giving it up.
Exactly. But that number, 250 a year, to me, that just blows my mind, Like that's just going onto the balance sheet of the government.
Yep, and then not being sold or touched for 20 years, because as she was mentioning, it's like, imagine we acquire this 1 million Bitcoin and we hold it for 20 years. That will easily take away at least half of our debt that we got. And like she mentioned, that like that's the biggest problem. We're at $37 trillion in debt. So yeah. This is solve that.
Yeah, I mean, and think about what that's going to do for the perceived value of Bitcoin. I'm not talking
Uh-oh.
the Bitcoin is Bitcoin, right?
You just broke up a little bit. Say that one more time.
I said, imagine what that's going to do for the perceived value of Bitcoin. Like, not the actual value, because as you and I know, the actual value of Bitcoin is Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But the perceived value, if the United States government is holding Bitcoin for 20 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna drive the perceived value up sky
To the
high.
millions.
Yeah.
Like once you even pass that 1 million, it's going to be like when we pass the 100,000 threshold. It's like, oh my gosh, it actually got here, and then it just keeps going still even further. It's like there's no coming down anymore.
Yeah, it's wild, and also like it's the green light for every other country to start doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And they
like we know,
kind of already are. Like, was it Pakistan?
Have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think Pakistan was bringing on crypto, kind of doing what Trump's doing, the crypto advisors, and starting to form a strategic to get a plan, because it's they realize it's oh, we got to start doing this now, otherwise it's too late.
Yeah, I mean, well, what's going on with Pakistan exactly? I think I may have missed that little juicy tidbit.
Yeah, pretty sure it was Pakistan, but it was, they were saying they're getting their own crypto SAR or something, just crypto advisor to start formulating a strategic reserve for their country.
Incredible.
So it's they're building a team. This is how the United States is with this all-star team that we got going on right now. Pro crypto, very friendly, making changes happen. We just never been here before in this space. This never was even we knew it would happen, but we never thought how fast this would come along. Because we couldn't even imagine 4 or 5 years ago seeing politicians, senators, institutions coming to the Bitcoin conference. It's kind of just showing the maturity of Bitcoin, of where we're heading and where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe the conference, the people that are at the conference. I mean, I don't mean the people just going to the show. I mean the people that are at the conference representing this shift, into the crypto space globally.
Mm-hmm. I know. Just everybody. Got the Winklevoss twins, Sailor. I was even seeing Peter Schiff's showing up there. He was doing a discussion. It was wait, what's he talking about there? The gold man?
I guess Goldman is also into the golden standard as well.
I guess so. But yeah, just everyone showing up there.
He's kind of been getting into it though, actually.
I think so. Do you think that part kind of changed when we were getting the news his son is all on board with crypto? Was that the start?
I'm sure that plays a role in it, right? Because I mean, obviously they talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
What about who spoke? Who's given the keynote today? Is it the vice president?
Yes, it was JD Vance. He was the keynote speaker. Yeah, he was live during my 12 o'clock news show, so I missed out on it. I'm going to have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, I need to go back and listen to it because I didn't get to hear it. I'm actually streaming the show. I mean, the conference here at the club.
Oh, same here. We got it streamed out there, playing it all day.
Exactly.
Liked when it finally died down yesterday. It's okay, I can sit down, listen to the rest of the speeches going on, because yesterday was a busy day.
Oh yeah, it was busy there.
Oh yeah, I had 3 appointments, and some of them were talker ones. So how those can be. So it was just nonstop from the shows to the appointments. It's okay, it's 5 o'clock now. After been going since the morning, it's let's take a little seat back. Let's hear these rest of these keynote speakers. Because who was the big one in the final? It was David Sachs. He was a closing speaker. So I was oh, thank goodness. I was able to make it, sit in on that one.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, it's really crazy. So basically, what we're seeing happen is a gigantic infrastructure on the global level coming into play to shift everyone into crypto. Because people, whether they realize it or not, friends and colleagues of mine that are still not listening to me about crypto, that haven't been listening to me for whatever 12 and a half years that I've been in crypto, right?
Yeah.
I've been in crypto longer than most of those people at the conference. That's the crazy thing. They're all like, yeah, man, we've been here since 2017. I'm like, dude, you don't even know about all the old real crypto stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, you know, they eventually, everyone's going to be using it. They won't even realize it.
That's going to be the only way to like really get the mass adoption of it. Because what I'm seeing, like when some people I help out, like it's like kind of the same story too, but like during this just evolution of technology, they took like a sidestep from it, like computers, phones. Like they're going, nah, I don't want to learn this, deal with this. So they just continue just living the fiat system, working, reading books, and whatever. They just avoided like just learning technology. But now that since Bitcoin's around, they're coming in, they feel like they're so far back now. It's like, I just missed my opportunity to learn this. And now I got to learn basically everything. So I'm seeing like a lot of people are falling under that category. So we do need to make it so they're using this without them realizing they're using it.
Yeah, and that's obviously that will happen at some point. I don't have no idea when. There's a few things that are so in such a gray area for me just because I'm not privy to the global banking cartel and their plans, and you know, but one of those things is obviously what we're talking about. When will people be using crypto without realizing it? Just like the way they tap a Visa card, right? You know, no one thinks about the insane technology that's behind that, right? You know,
I know.
It's still probably not fast enough for people. They're still probably like, oh, that's not fast enough. I'm annoyed. I have to wait here for this thing to give me a receipt or to say it's okay, approved, right? Even though it's like 1 second, right? You know. The other thing though that is just constantly on my mind, like I'm even in my bed at night when I'm going to sleep, I even sit there and think about this. Is like, what is the role or value or essence of the US dollar going to be?
Value or essence?
You know, like right now, the US dollar represents a Federal Reserve printed note that is, you know, basically a debt, right?
Yeah.
So if we have all this Bitcoin giving value to us, and the central bank's role, obviously it's going to change, right? Because you can't print Bitcoin.
Nope. You
right?
can't.
I mean,
So
that's kind of the cool thing about it, is that you can't print it. So what is the Federal Reserve's role, and more importantly, fiat currency of all the countries around the world? What is it going to be? You know, have you put any thought into that? Any of that?
I've had put some thoughts into it before. It's just like I feel like they're still going to be here, but just at such that low value. It's like we see what Venezuelan happens. Like, oh, this is just basically worthless, or you need so much of it to do something. Like, it'll still be here, and then we'll probably just see the world change around it, where like affect the prices. Oh, this is where it is now. It's like someone mentioned in a comment, like the video when I mentioned about the penny going or being discontinued right now. People are going, oh, in other countries, just like round down with the pricing or whatnot. So there will be like changes, I think, with products, but not the money. We'll just see it lower in value.
Right. You know, let me let's do a quick little question into the Google. I typed a new USD value on Bitcoin Standard, and let's see what comes up here. Not too much. Bitwise, Bitcoin Standard Corporations, Bitcoin price, BTC USD chart. That's not what I'm talking about, though.
Exactly. We're trying to say, like, what is going to be the new valuation? What's it going to look like? Like, what's really going to be backing it, since it's not backed right now? They're going to have to go back to some backing of it. But then again, if you do it with Bitcoin, then Bitcoin's price was valued at that. So you can't really go back and forth with that. So it's like, what is its new valuation going to be and based off of? Is it just going to be strictly just energy now? How much energy it took? So if it took like very little to print this money, so it's going to have a lower value, versus Bitcoin, it takes all this energy. So we start just going to be valuing everything just based off energy now, maybe.
Yeah, and obviously currency needs to exist in order to move energy or something that represents the transfer of energy, right? What we call like currency, right? To move stuff around. But that's still where it's like cloudy to me. How's that going to work? Because obviously we can just send each other crypto. But then there also needs to be something that's stabilized, right? Because the price volatility can't be part of that.
Yep.
And something that's stabilized has to be representative, but it's like right now it kind of goes by zone or by nation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how's that going to be on the global scale, you know? Because obviously I can just send Bitcoin to somebody in Saudi Arabia. If somebody's like, hey, thanks for that Zoom piano lesson, they can just pay me with Bitcoin direct. I don't need the US dollar, you know, right?
Exactly.
So I typed in here, this is what I typed in. New role of Federal Reserve on Bitcoin standard. And this is what I got back. The Federal Reserve's role concerning a potential Bitcoin standard is complex and still evolving, with the agency expressing skepticism, but also acknowledging the need to adapt to the changing landscape of digital assets.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so funny, right? Because it's like, obviously they tried to, you know, prevent us from holding crypto or getting involved in it for years.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're saying, well, we have to, you know, we should take a look at it, basically, right?
Yeah. They're basically saying we can't miss this anymore. We can't stifle this innovation. That was one of the crypto leaders. I forgot if it was Byron who was mentioning that. But yeah, they were just like conference. They were just stating it's like we can't keep stifling this innovation. Like it's a necessity. We need this now. So the guys up top are saying it. So it's not just more of like that or how that article just said. It's like we're looking into it, still figuring it out. Like they're getting the idea that we need to look into it. But the guys at these conferences are saying it's like no, we get it. We do need this now. So they just got to work around that now. So we're just, I guess, moving step by step.
Yeah, it's interesting because like their tools, you know, like inflation. I mean, I'm sorry, like interest rates, right? Like how they're not going to have nearly the same kind of power because they can't, right? And that's part of the scam, right? Is the fact that they can. I'm calling it a scam. Some people may not think it's a scam, but in a way, it is a scam because the thing is, it's artificial. The market is not dictating what the interest rates are, or what the cost of goods and services is. It's the central bank that's dictating it by dialing it up. Sorry, on my screen.
Yeah.
Or down. You know what I'm saying, right? So that's not real. That means if they're just dialing it however they need to in order to keep their system propped up, right? Because that's really what it is. If they didn't print the money, as an example, then the whole entire system would collapse.
Yep.
And some people are like, oh, that'd be great. Let it collapse. Of course, I don't think that's great. We don't want like a complete collapse because that's not going to be so easy to deal with, right? You know?
No.
But definitely sound money, Bitcoin and crypto is, you know, you can't artificially set the value of it like that. You can artificially manipulate the price in US dollar and things like that in the market, right? But you can't actually artificially control the value. Only the market can do that.
Yeah. So then,
yeah. So anyway,
these are interesting topics so much. Like to think about, like, yeah, this stuff keeps us up at night because like we just ponder it so much. It's like, where's this going? Like, how is it going to get solved? Like, what are they doing to get it going?
Yeah, exactly. And like, you know, I'm trying not to check my portfolio all the time because that's like so ridiculous. Because actually, it doesn't really mean anything. You know,
it doesn't right now. Because like right now we're just really waiting on it. And again, like if we change topics going on like pricing, where it's like everything going right now, it's like the altcoins, I'm just sitting on those bags knowing like they eventually will hit their time. But right now everything's just so focused on Bitcoin. So it's like that will be pushed back. You're looking at a sea of red right now.
So, you know, like that's the thing. I open a CoinGecko and there it is, right? Or CoinMarketCap or whatever your preferred method of monitoring the market is. And it's like red, green, whatever. Like, you know, Bitcoin was at 110K yesterday. Today it's 107 and change. But that doesn't really mean anything.
No. This shows as consolidating at a nice price because the longer it holds the 110, no big dips. It's like it's going to be a nice little rise up again to the next little support level.
Yeah, like 120 or whatever that's going to be.
Yeah, 115, 120. That's how I feel like we're just going to be seeing like throughout this year now, just a little like maybe $10,000 increment rises. Then we're like we'll be steady for like a week or two. Then we go back up again. But I feel like that's just going to continue through all the way through the end of the year.
Yeah, and what's going to happen with the altcoins?
Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking that those again, this got pushed back a full year, but who knows? Like, I've been on tech when I listen to him, he's still following the old cycle. It's just like,
man, all I know, man, is that like I'm about to do a huge tour with my band, and the thought on my mind is, God, I got to pay attention to the market because, like, what if I got to sell some altcoins? You know what I mean? Because I'm not in my zone here at home, like where I can. Well, I'm at work now. But work home.
Yeah, you're gonna be on tour. You don't have your computer really handling like the market just hits. Oh, boom! Make that trade. Got it.
It's just this, especially this kind of tour because I'm going all over China and Thailand and Asia. So it's just my phone and. Mm-hmm. I don't know what kind of internet access I'm going to have. I mean, I'm going to be in China. Doesn't China have like different internet?
They do. More controlled. Right. For what you can see, it's
some kind of restricted internet, right? I'm not even sure how my phone is going to work over there. I need to research that. But
can you even use a VPN in China, or do they even have that technology blocked on their servers?
You know what, man? I have no idea. I guess I'll report back to the Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club when I'm actually there. Maybe I can chime in, do a call with you like from China. Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be very cool, but I don't know. I feel like maybe we should wait till you get back just in case. Yeah. They may not like something you say.
Yeah, they gave me my visa, so that's cool. I'm already happy with that, it is interesting though, but my point just being that like, you have to pay attention to your crypto portfolio in US. What I hate about it is I'm paying attention to it as it pertains to fiat.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I'm like really, I'm reaching that point of singularity in my world of crypto versus fiat.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like they're not really different anymore to me.
No, they aren't. Same here on my end. Like it's like two pieces of pot. It's like there's dollars, there's Bitcoin. I'm still living on both styles of it. Sure, I want to live more on the Bitcoin side, but they're just the same thing. It's just a currency. We use it to transact, and at least Bitcoin's the freedom side.
Exactly, and obviously, I want to be on the freedom side, more than I am right now in the indentured servitude side, which is exactly what the fiat system promotes below the top of the pyramid. So, and then I think about things like purchasing a car, because I'm definitely going to treat myself to a car this year at some point,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm constantly trying to figure out like, how am I going to buy this car? Am I going to borrow against crypto? Am I going to use fiat? Am I going to use crypto? Like, how am I going to do it? It's just like, I know people are doing
the choices, the options, but that's the beauty. You have options, you have choices. You're not just forced to, I'm just going to use the cash, the fiat system, because that's all I got. At least now you got choices to use. It's like, I can use Bitcoin, I can spend it, I can borrow against it, and then pay off that loan. So that way I still keep my Bitcoin at the end. You don't have to go the old route where you get a fiat backed loan. And then
okay, well now that's what I'm getting at though. Like, yes, big fan of choices. Love choices. Love your point about that, because that's a real market, right? When you have options and things you can choose from, and you decide where you want to place your value, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, what I mean is, what's my best option is what I'm trying to get at. Like what's the most valuable and least rip-off way for me to buy a car? I don't know the answer. I'm not asking that like there is even like a totally black and white answer at this point, but
the best way is just to win one on the Price is Right. Or go find a car dealership that's having a contest. Last person with their hand on the vehicle wins the car, and then there's your best option. You don't have to spend any Bitcoin or cash. You just have to wait outside with their hand on the car.
Does that show still exist?
It still does. It's Drew Carey now as the host since Bob Barker passed away.
And they still give cars away, I guess.
Yep. My brother-in-law was like on the show back in like 2009. He actually won it. He didn't win any car, but he won like 2 trips. Yeah, he won like a trip to Brazil or somewhere in South America, and then he won like 3 pairs of sunglasses, like a couple of cameras, and he did win a car, but they sold the car, and they really sold a lot of the stuff because when you win the prizes, you get dealt with all the taxes along with it. So they basically just kept the sunglasses and the trip to wherever it was.
Dude, isn't that wild? Like our system is so insane that you can't even get gifted something without paying tax on it.
I know. Here you go. Blessing. Oh, but yeah, there's $20,000 you owe in taxes. So congratulations. You're welcome.
Yeah, what is that? That's crazy. That's a scam. It's a total scam.
It is.
So the game show exists on purpose so that the taxation organization can get paid, basically.
Well, then I guess it has 2 purposes then for the show for all that. Yeah, for the tax purchases for their end, but then it's also keeping the people in just the slave mentality. They need to be entertained, watch. They need to be distracted of what's going on in the world. So it's serving 2 purposes right there. They're going, oh yeah, you're winning prizes. Yay. Doesn't matter that I'm living paycheck to paycheck and I'm not getting enough hours at work, but hey, I'm having fun.
No doubt. I mean, there's definitely the propaganda side, of course. What's the saying? New York makes the decisions. Los Angeles executes the decisions. Right?
I've never heard that saying before, but that totally makes sense.
Yeah, that's how it works, right? Like all the money is decided in New York, right? And then they execute the propaganda in Los Angeles, the greatest propaganda machine of all time. Yeah, right. Exactly. I like a lot of the propaganda that comes out of Los Angeles, but we have to, as long as we can realize that it's propaganda, or not all of it, obviously, but a lot of it, then, you can at least take it with a grain of salt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, all the Marvel movies, like all the big comic book movies, right?
Oh, you know it. Yes, I'm a total superhero nerd.
Yeah, of course, man. You should be. But the thing is, an interesting thing I learned about a lot of those movies some years ago, and I they're huge productions, right? They're all like, $100 million budget, $200 million budget, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, they're actually largely made for overseas markets like China, because they're obsessed with the Marvel movies. And so Hollywood fills them with propaganda, right? I mean, those movies are loaded with propaganda, right?
Yeah.
And then they're shipped overseas as, feeding propaganda abroad, right? Like, it's pretty wild, isn't it? Like, because those movies,
because the Civil War Avengers, all the propaganda on like the walls, like there's having those little hidden messages. But then also, I can't remember any propaganda in the movie Shang-Chi, but that was like the first Asian superhero movie. So it's like they had to be targeting or putting something over towards China then, I guess.
I would imagine, man. I mean, I don't think any gigantic film, or at least majority of gigantic productions, are not, based in some kind of agenda,
Yeah.
I think probably TV shows, though, are even crazier. Because those are addictive. Like, people are addicted to those, right? And it's a different kind of experience. Like a movie is a less passive experience. You have to sort of actively participate and engage in it, because it's just this thing that starts and then it actually ends, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But a TV show, you can be totally passive. You can just sit there and let it just kind of go in, and the medium is a bit different. It's, there's more words, film is more about the pictures, right? And TV shows are more about the dialogue. So and I do, of course, I grew up watching TV, obviously, but it is crazy when you get into the crypto space and all this stuff you get into and you start learning about, and the historical propaganda machine. And then you go back and you think, wow, I totally was propagandized by so many things that I watched.
Yeah. Seriously, I know now thinking back about that, it's like, what did I watch growing up that really shaped me in a way? Just from watching it, but not really subconsciously knowing it. It just like it came
As
in,
kids.
it soaked
As
up.
kids. Yeah.
It was just like what's that saying with TV? Because it's like it's not just YouTube, television. Like it's like in plain sight, like in the words itself, describing like what it's doing. Like it's program, TV, television program, because it's programming you and your brain. That's what it is.
Do you know the term predictive programming?
I've heard about it, but I'm just drawing a blank right now on it.
Let me that is a really interesting thing. Let me just pull up let's see what the internet gives us as a definition of it real quick. Right. Predictive programming. I know we're getting a little out on this show, but you know what? We're in crypto.
Oh, we are. Yeah, and this is the Sherpa special. We talk about whatever on here. Starts off as crypto, but we can take this wherever it wants to.
Exactly, man. Okay, so listen to this. Predictive programming, also known as predictive programming. Okay. Oh, predictive. Sorry, excuse me. Also known as predicative programming is a formal method for program specification and refinement. It involves using Boolean expressions to define acceptable and unacceptable behaviors of a program. This method, developed by Eric Hainer, simplifies program verification by allowing the mixing of program commands and specifications. So predictive programming is used in programs, is my point.
So where they can decide on like how to specific programming they do it, because they got to target an audience. So it's like we got to do it this way and then this way just for the final thing to go through.
Exactly. And here's some examples. So it of course it has to say it's a controversial conspiracy theory, you know. So let me just get that out of the way in case, you know. We're in the crypto space, though. I mean, nobody cares about that. So predictive programming is a controversial conspiracy theory that suggests that governments or other powerful groups use fictional media, such as movies, TV shows, and books, to subtly condition the public to accept future events that are planned or desired by those in control. That's what I'm really getting at, Sherp.
Mm-hmm.
And so things that are cited often are The Simpsons.
Yeah,
because that show is filled with, especially now that's been like what, I don't know how long is that
30
show?
years, 50 years? It feels like 30 years, or it's
30
forever.
Years, 30 years of Simpsons that you can actually go back and look at and now see how things have come into fruition that were in the show, you know, right? That were there. Mm-hmm. 1984, the book. Contagion, The Truman Show. Remember the film The Truman Show with Jim Carrey?
Love that. Yep, love that movie.
I love it too, man. So good. Minority Report. I talk about this one all the time, man. Minority Report is based on a book by Philip K. Dick. He's the guy who wrote Blade Runner. And he was a sci-fi writer. He died when he was like 48 or something. He got stomach cancer and then just dropped dead. It was like some crazy thing. I think someone can verify me on that. You know, let's get the hey, sure, should we get the fact-checking team to verify me on that?
I know. Whoever's watching live, let us know.
Yeah. My favorite term of all, fact-checking. So, yeah, too bad we don't have anybody. Is there anybody watching? I don't see anyone in the chat.
We have 69 people watching right now. We have one chat from Truth Seeker.
Oh, cool. I can't see that. I guess only you can see it.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, no one's in the chat giving us those answers. But no, yeah, the precondition of the programming, how like these shows and movies like just shape us over time. Like honestly, superhero stuff really did shape my lifestyle. You just want to be a good person, good morals, follow the rules. Like it had meaning. Sure, there weren't real stories. It wasn't like real life. But those characters like were real to us from as we grow up. We watch them be the hero, save the day. You see their learning stories like with their parents. Like that kind of like led to like me to like who I am too. But like this the different type of conditioning and programming like a show can do to a person and their life.
No doubt, man. I mean, I really like the example of 1984, the book, because everyone always uses that as like, oh man, look, we're living in 1984. Can you believe this shit happened? We're in 1984, you know? And it's like, well, actually, George Orwell was a member of what was called the Fabian Society in England. and that was like a secret society, basically, that, you know, filled with people who were on the upper echelon, like you know, Aldous Huxley was also part of that. He's the one who wrote the book Brave New World, and his brother Julian Huxley is one of the first people that were known as eugenicists in the West, you know, right? And so yeah, he wrote this book about what could possibly happen in society, which obviously did come true, as we all experienced in 2020 and 2021 and 2022, and look, we live in Florida. And then it's not really a question. Then you start thinking the predictive programming thing is like 100% real, because he was in that secret society, right? So that means he was privy. He knew a lot more than the average person about control mechanisms and about agenda and, you know, world plans or whatever it may be. I'm not even saying it's all bad necessarily, right?
Yeah.
But some of it turns out to be bad, you know, right? And like lockdowns that are unnecessary, that's not good. There's nothing good about that, you know, right? And and so it really is predictive programming. Like, he wrote the book in 1948, called it 1984, and then in 2020, we were basically watching all of it unfold. Big Brother, the telescreen television thing that he has in the book about basically the only truth is what comes on the screen. Nothing else is true, right? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like this, right?
Seriously, like everything is now just like blasted to you. You don't gotta be around the radio box anymore, listening to your family in the room. Now you're not behind the TV. It's like, it's just blasted to you 24/7. It's like, oh, there's a notification, and a lot of people have their like notifications bell icon. So when a news article pops up, bam! So it's just forcefully getting feed. Now I hate having the notifications on my phone. I just keep them off unless it's a message or whatever, because I don't want to be blasted with all that information consistently. But some people out there are, so they're just slowly being programmed, but whatever just gets thrown in their face.
Yeah, and it's all being shaped according to whoever's in control, really, you know, like
I know. I want to go to like with the 2020 part, like the other like shows coming out of time. Remember how shows like shifted because they were following the agenda, where it's like wearing the mask, the 6 feet. It was in like all the shows, like the 911 emergency show, the show Just Us or Let Us. Forgive me, I don't know, some family, but you're just seeing like everything goes like, oh, you 6 feet away. Like they were really blasting it, just throwing it into the everyday life now of how fast it came.
Dude, that's an amazing point, actually, because the thing is, what's amazing about it is how quickly they can do it.
Especially with shows. Right? They can't do it with movies, but TV shows they can. No,
that, again, another great point, differentiator between a TV show as propaganda versus a movie. That's one of the things I meant before also. Like, a movie takes 1 to 5 years to make.
Yep.
And by the time it comes out, it's already something that was done in the past, right? TV shows, they're doing more in real time. They do them actually, Hollywood's they can do them pretty fast, you know? I remember because since I'm from New York City, they film a lot of TV shows there, you know? And I would just watch them set the machine up, take over blocks, move cars if they needed to, whatever they needed to do, man. They would just take over, shoot the damn thing, and it would be out that season, you know? Right?
Yeah.
So think about what they were doing with the whole, like you were saying, showing mass or talking about the 6 feet thing, which was all bullshit.
Doing the air hugs too, like somebody got pregnant. It's like, oh, air hug, I'm so happy for you. It's like, what the heck am I just watching?
God, air hug. That's disgusting. Yeah, air hug. Right. So they were doing all that creepy stuff. And like, you know, for many of us, like you and me, like that was all like super cringy, right? You know? But for other people, man, they were taking that at face value. They were basically getting programmed by the program. And so it was substantiating their fears, right? You know, because everything is fear-based. And so they were already living in fear. You know, some people locked. Dude, I had a friend, he stayed in his apartment for 9 months, dude.
Oh, that's crazy. I was even seeing an article out there, like some girls are finally freed after like 4 years, or even now just being released since the COVID time. It's like what? It's like they're still in their house, still fearful right now. Some people still haven't escaped. It's kind of like that guy in Japan, like who was like in the army or the war from like the World War Nakamoto times. He came out. It's like he didn't even know the war ended. So there's
Oh,
still some people in
wow. Right.
COVID, like now still
Right.
living that life. They come out, it's like, what? It's safe now? What?
Right. There was a movie made like, I want to say it was like maybe from Germany about a family that didn't know that in 1991 that the Soviet Union collapsed. And then
Hmm.
again, they were in like East Germany, and so for like months they still thought it was still like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like what you're talking about with that Japanese
Hmm.
man.
The war veteran who just stayed in the bunker, his forest, and then some Americans found him, and it's like, dude, the war's been over for 20 years. This they
Right, and
lived
it's
it.
like, dude, it's 5 years since they told you to wear a mask. 5 years. I actually just saw a guy. I was driving to a mix session in East Nashville the other day, and I saw a guy walking along the interstate, man, with a mask on. I was like, this guy's living in a whole different dimension, man.
Oh yeah. Oh, same in California. I just got back from Cali this last weekend. Still, there's a lot of people out there just wearing masks. It's like, what year is it right now? What's
Yeah,
going
like
on, guys?
where you
But
been? Have you like, do you know there's a lot more information too? Like maybe you just don't want to look at it, but like it's all out there now. It's all in plain sight, you know? Like you can
mhm.
actually see that, hey, that was
It is.
largely BS, you know?
Yeah, it is true. It's like the information's out there, but again, there's also just people out there just so like just hate the administration, the things that happen. So no matter what goes down, they're not even going to bother with it, not look for it. They're trying to stifle it, do whatever they can because they hate the team we got right now so much. It's kind of
They have something in common
listen,
too. Most of those people, they're all miserable.
yeah, no, that is true. You never see any of them happy.
But, you know, you can put listen, man, even I don't care what side you're on. I think everyone's entitled to should be allowed to believe in whatever they believe. You know, like I'm all for freedom, man. You know, like that to me
Yes,
is the bottom line. We don't have to agree on things or whatever, but we should be able to have a conversation about it, not just like full on like yes, no, black and white hatred, you know, right? But
exactly.
but the thing is, I do notice that if you choose misery, then you just keep it keeps going. It's like a feedback loop, you know, like you can't get out of it, and then it
Mhm.
goes you spiral down in a vortex. And like I do see it on my Facebook wall, being from NYC. It's largely
Mhm.
miserable, and it's all like anti-administration, but not anti whatever the point is. It's just that they hate this administration, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what we're seeing a lot. I see it too. Got the Cali feed from all those people on that side
Right.
too. So I know me and you came from the worst places, New York, California. We
The
escaped.
2, the 2, those are the 2 worst, there's no doubt, man, you know? And I gotta say, it's not even all of New York State. Like, New York State's actually not really like that when you go upstate, you know?
Hmm.
It's
Yeah, there's
really
pockets
just
in good
the
places.
New York City metro area, you know, which is about an 80-mile radius because it's such a big city.
Hmm.
So that whole metro area, which extends into parts of Connecticut and New Jersey, you know? It's all this mentality, man, that like, yeah, I don't know, man. You know, it's like, but my point is just like Shawshank Redemption. You can get busy living or you can get busy dying, you know, right? Like
Hmm.
it's those two things. And it's a challenge. I'm not saying it's easy. Every day is a challenge to like, you know, stay on
Yeah.
course and not I get dark some days too, man. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, when I look at the crypto space, I think, well, wait, look at all these people trying to figure this out.
Yes.
How amazing is that? How amazing is everybody trying to figure out all this stuff? You know, looking at our little coin gecko things and, you know, talking about
Mhm.
how do we cash out on the road and how do we get more Bitcoin, right? You know,
Yep. It's just,
which by
I
the way,
know.
can I ask you about this real quick?
Yeah.
So you and I are both into altcoins.
Hmm.
Um, but we're also into like getting US dollar gains from those altcoins.
Hmm.
But here's my question. Is it to get US dollars or is it to go back and get more Bitcoin?
Well, the final answer was always get more Bitcoin in the long run. But because we're just not on a normal cycle now, it changes. Because at first, the traditional way would have been, okay, we go through our bull run. I'm going to take my profits in USDT or USDC, a stable coin, and I'll wait for the dip to go down because that'll be the cycle. We have that dip, and then I would convert that over into Bitcoin. But now, since we're I'm at that point where I just don't feel it going down. It's like, okay, I'm just going to convert all those dollar profits and just put that straight into Bitcoin. So the time has changed for me for how I saw that. So yeah, the end goal is just to get more Bitcoin.
Yeah, you know, I feel like I'm in a similar place, man. Like I really just want more BTC. I just see I have so much less faith in fiat. It's like, you know, that it doesn't really have a value to me. In fact, even when I get it, I spend it. And I enjoy spending it. I'm like, this is the whole point of this. The whole point of this fiat money is for it to flow, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I used to think I had to hoard it.
Yeah.
Right? Because my valuation, my value system was completely off. And all that did was keep me from getting any more. It's like it kept me down, basically, you know? And now it's like, oh, if I just spend this without, I don't care. Like actually positively say, hey, here you go. Here's $100. It just comes back to me. It's crazy, man. Like I don't even think about it. It shows up somewhere else, you know?
It does, seriously. Like I have trouble spending the cash that come and into my possession. It's like, oh, here's like, yeah, $100. Like I will probably hold on to it for a month because I just can't get rid of it. There's like no use case. So when I was in Cali, had lunch with my friend. It's like, hey, I got lunch here. Just threw the 100 there. Oh, keep the change. So it's like my buddy's like going, oh, Paul is a big spender now. It's like, no, I'm just trying to get rid of this, but it's also good.
Right. But you see, like your pal saying like, oh man, holy cow, you're a big spender. Like that's the way I used to think. That's what I mean. Like that, I used to live in the scarcity side of it all instead of the abundance side of it. The abundance side only exists if you allow it to exist. And like you buying lunch for everybody, that's you being in abundance, not scarcity. You're not afraid to let that fiat go, you know, right?
Exactly.
That's a huge, huge realization in this life, you know? And so,
and I like your point on like the evaluation. We had our views on like money being just what we valued. And it's like, I like the one like phrase from like, it's not from Monopoly, but it's based off Monopoly. It's like, imagine playing the game of Monopoly and you go around without collecting any properties, you collect your $200, try to avoid jail. That is a lot of how people are playing the world right now because they don't want to spend their dollars. They just want to keep getting it, try to survive without actually just buying a solid asset that can produce revenue for them. And that asset could be Bitcoin, could be a house, could be just something better than what the dollar is that you're just collecting every time you go around the loop. Let's say that's a year of your life.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like, I mean, I just moved into an apartment finally, you know, and I spent a bunch of money setting it up because, you know, what am I going to do? Like, just sit on the floor, right? You know, no, I'm not going to do that.
No, it's us guys. We can do that. we're the simplest creatures. We have a TV, couch. We're good. That's all we need.
Dude, you're so right. All I actually need is my command center with my keyboards and my musical instruments, and you know that's really all I need. But anyway, like still, you know, I spent some money setting it up and all that, and the old me would have just been like stressing out the whole time. Like every time I bought something, you know, I'd be like, oh God, what am I? Should I spend it? I just don't care at all. And I realize that's how it comes back, man. It's really, it may sound crazy to some people. It really may sound crazy because it would have sounded crazy to me 20 years ago.
Yep.
Dude, 10 years ago, it would have sounded crazy to me. You're way ahead of where I was at, you know, like, because I'm a lot older, right? You know? And
are we? We're the same age. You're in your mid 30s, right?
yeah, exactly. And so, but that, what I'm trying to connect here is Bitcoin and crypto, because it allows you to really think about value, right? It really allows you to think about value, and you don't want to spend your Bitcoin. That's the difference. You want to keep your Bitcoin, right?
Yep.
So that tells you something right there. There's a different value. My fiat, I don't really want to keep. I just want to spend it.
I know. I don't want the savings. I just want enough to pay the bills, and that's it.
Yeah, I definitely, I don't need a savings account in fiat. Absolutely not. Like, why would I do that? In fact, the bank keeps asking me, like, "Hey, man, you want to lock up some money into a CD for 4% or 5%? They're even offering now, right?" I'm like, dude, why would I do that?
I know.
I have the Gemini Bitcoin credit card. Why would I lock that stuff up for 5% when I could just be using my Gemini Bitcoin credit card and getting 4% in Bitcoin every time I get gas? You know,
Oh, you
right?
got one of those cards? Oh man, I've been hearing so much good things about that one.
Dude,
Like I know the Fold's great, but I hear like you get pretty good rewards with Gemini.
No. Here's the thing. I love Fold. Huge fan. Love Fold.
Yeah.
My goal is to have both of them.
Yes.
But the Fold credit card's not out yet, you know? The debit card is like, I can't use it the way I want to. I use it, but it's not like a credit card I really like because I can just literally use it for everything and just don't even think anymore. Just collect sats, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I got the Gemini credit card, because it's already doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I just got it. And the thing is, the percentage rewards varies depending on what you're using it for. So what it's really good for, if you want the 4%, by the way, 4% is a pretty good amount of sats to get back, you know, right?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Because my my Whole Foods card, my Amazon card, only gives me 5% in fiat back. So if I'm getting 4% in Satoshis, dude, I mean, that's a no-brainer, right?
That is.
But here's the thing. If you use it for food or gas, you get 4%. So you go to a restaurant, put it on the Gemini Bitcoin credit card.
Yeah.
Right? All the gas we got to get all the time, boom. Gemini credit card. So that's what I'm going to do. And then the Fold card's coming. And I forget exactly. I didn't see like the most recent thing with Brian when he was talking about it. I don't know if you did or not, but I don't know when the card is coming out.
I don't think he mentioned when the card was going to come out
Right.
yet. Just it's coming soon still.
But what I saw so far was 2% back across the board.
Gotcha. So
which is still pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because it's across the board. You don't have to, you don't have to think like, oh, I'll use it for this, use it for that. You could just use it for everything and get 2%. But if you have both,
yes,
right, and you can strategize, like maximize the Satoshi rewards. That's all I'm after, man. You know,
going back to the thing of just saying we got choices, and that's the beauty of it. Why $1, credit, crypto. Oh, which crypto card I want to use? It's all about the choices, and it's awesome that we have them now instead of just one option alone. It's like, oh, you can only do this. So it's just great that we have it.
Hey, by the way, Manny chimed in and said, hey Sherpa,
what's up, Manny? Oh yeah, there you are. What's up, everyone? Even you were there answering Truth Seeker. And
well, I love Truth Seeker's comment, because I mean that is absolutely the case.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Absolutely the case. But one more quick thing I'll tell you about the Gemini card. My only
one right there.
Look at that, man.
Winklevoss twins giving Sailor his Gemini card. They said, like, we gave you the biggest value or the biggest one because we know you're good for it.
Dude, look, that's my pet peeve. Look, they gave him an orange one. I signed up for the orange one. I'm on a waiting list for the orange one. They sent me a black one.
What? Oh man, you got to get the orange one.
Of course, I want the orange one, man. It's it's Bitcoin. But anyway, I will get it. I'm on the waiting list, but how come they gave him the orange one? Of course, right? Michael
He's Sailor.
Yeah.
You got to give him the orange one.
Oh, because he's a billionaire. He gets whichever one he wants.
But we're running these crypto clubs. Why can't we get it? We deserve one too.
Actually, man, you're right. We do deserve them. Well, we have a lot of stuff going on with the club too. I mean, with the private key bank.
Yes. Oh, that one's still the low-key news. Like, yeah, if I get news, I still just keep it hidden. I just wait for Jay or whatever Ben says about it. It's like,
I don't really know. I don't know the details, but what I do know is that I'm very interested.
Oh yeah, I got my waitlist, because what they say again, like the first 100 people to get signed up or want to be a part of it have like some other special perk with it. I forgot what Jay mentioned with that.
Up yet. How do I sign up?
Well, message Jay and go, hey, am I still good to be part of the first 100 people to sign up? Because there might still be a couple of spots, but you got to let them know.
Is that signing up for an account? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, so it'll be an account with a private key bank.
All right, I will do that. I'll text them. I don't have his number to text him, but I'll text him. I'll
get you his number.
Thank me, yeah. Anyway, yeah, but I am intrigued by that, because I love the idea of more choices. Like, dude, that's what we keep talking about. More options, more choices, right?
Mm-hmm.
So more banks means more choices. I currently have a couple different bank accounts. You know,
Yep. I got to
on
close a
purpose.
couple, open up some new ones.
Yeah, listen, I have 2 on purpose. I don't want just one. You know what I mean? Then I'm dealing with only one set of rules. This way, I got 2 sets of rules that I can choose from, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Manny commented. All good.
Said,
Glad to hear about the Gemini card fold taking a while to get. Yeah, exactly. The fold card's taken. You know, I'm sure. I mean, they got thousands of people that want that fold card.
yeah. And a lot of people sometimes I've noticed have problems like with the proof of address when they're signing up for the fold card, or in some locations out there where it's just like wherever they live just will not allow it.
Because
so I think we're
bank.
Yeah, I think so. But I think we're trying to just add an extra product to our club sites, just like a $10 charge, where then you can use the club address as your address to bypass those issues now.
Dude,
so we're trying to get that.
Nobody told me that.
Yeah, it was just starting. I still got to get it made. I got to talk to Bamboo. Okay, can we get that going? Just add that little feature. Just make it a $10 extra charge. They can add to a monthly charge, and then that way they can start using the club address. Doesn't matter which one. That way you can get past these proof of address verifications. Like, well, I'm in New Hampshire or wherever, New York, and they're not allowing me to do this. It's like, well, just use the club as address. Get that PMA, or what is it called? Private membership box, PMB.
Yeah. The PMB, yeah.
Yeah, get your private membership box, use our address, and boom, we'll send you even a invoice letter to showcase, yep, here's my utility bill for the club, and that way I'll get them passed and it'll be a nice smooth transition. So yeah, that's another new thing going with the clubs that we're getting going as well. But yeah,
that's actually very cool. So make sure you and Bamboo keep me posted on those things so that I can spread the word. You know what I'm saying? Because I
don't think even he was aware of that, because he was in Vegas already when we had that.
All good. Yeah, I'm just saying though, like if you guys do solidify things like that, because I love all that stuff and I want to be able to make sure I can share it with everyone. You know.
Yeah, I will do.
Well, you know, I'm not down there in Sarasota with you guys. You know, I'm 1,000 miles away.
I know. Well, you're still pretty close. What was that? 7-hour drive?
No. It's like 11.
I need to do a weekend road trip up there. One of these next 3-day weekends. I want to do a nice trip to Nashville.
Oh, you got
Hopefully, you'll be in town on tour.
Dude, well, just do it when I am in town. I'll be here for the month of July.
All right, yeah. If you get a 3-day weekend, I'm on my way.
It'll be nice and hot here, just like Florida too. So you know.
Ooh, I'll take the convertible. That way we can ride with the top down, Nashville.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man, you got to definitely come up here. But yeah, anyway, I'm very psyched about my Gemini credit card, just because like all I want is Bitcoin credit cards. I don't even want anything else anymore. That's it. You know.
Same. Cash back, I don't want you. No,
I don't want.
Get me Bitcoin or Satoshi's back only.
Yeah, I'm not even going to use my cashback card once I'm using the Bitcoin credit cards. That's it, you know. Because
just slowly dwindle yourself off of that system and moving into the newer, better one, 2.0.
Yep. And same thing with the gift cards. You know, like I keep bringing these up in the classes. You know, like we were talking about it a couple classes ago, the bit refill and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I'm still trying to get into that world too.
Where it's the wait, which gift card? Folds like Bitcoin gift card, or where you're purchasing gift cards?
That's
that one. Yeah, because sometimes it's the better option, more value. Just buy the gift card.
Yeah, buying gift cards with Bitcoin, not the fold. The fold where you're buying it with fiat.
Oh, gotcha.
This bitrefill.com is you go on there and you can buy an Amazon gift card with Bitcoin. You just pay. It's more steps, but the thing is, you're removed from fiat by doing it, though. And then what you do is you immediately rebuy back your Bitcoin, obviously. Or actually, you can do it with stable coins. You don't even have to use Bitcoin.
Really?
Yep, you can convert some BTC or whatever into stable coins, send it over there, buy an Amazon gift card, then rebuy back the Bitcoin.
Is this them right here? Bit refill?
Yes, I made an account already and I got the app on my phone.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And so but the thing is, I haven't got myself to do it yet. I guess is what I'm talking. Why I talk about it with you.
You got to start it. Just do one right now. Right now, Steve. Do it.
I don't think I can do it yet because I have to fund it. I have to figure out where I'm going to fund it from. You know.
Gotcha.
I definitely want to use stable coins. I don't want to just use Bitcoin, right? There's a whole weird tax event thing that pisses me off because it's like, oh, I'm not allowed to spend my money without it becoming a tax event. If your Bitcoin has gone up in a capital gains tax, and I'm not talking about like paying sales tax. You know, like it's
didn't Lummis mention that though today? Like they were making like that change of the rule, so that way if you're spending like $600 or less, doesn't revolve around those taxation policies. Because then that's the most annoying thing. You spend your Bitcoin, we got to deal with this stupid tax, capital gains, like loss, gain, or whatever. Yeah, just do it under a certain price level, and then we're good. Because if you go to a coffee shop to buy a cup of coffee, why do you want to pay a tax on that other than the other state taxes?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, because, and think about it, man. Like $1,000, it should be like $1,000, really, not $600. Like, you know, I can spend $1,000 in crypto a month easily if I start living in that world, in the circular economy, right? But that's really cool that she was mentioning that, because the thing is that has to change. Otherwise, like, you can't use your crypto and then be worried about paying 40% on whatever your gains were. That is ridiculous anyway, because all you're doing is holding it.
Exactly. So it's like they just like force you then to use stable coins or something. Just again, then that's just definitely it's taking away your choices out there. So they had to address this and everything, because they were talking about the stablecoin bill too. Like when they were talking about that, it's like we had to put in there like non-bankers can create stable coins, because like if they put it in the rules out there just saying only banks can create stable coins, that's stifling the innovation, giving like stopping a lot of people. And it's like, okay, how are we going to bring people in here? So they put those like rules in there saying, yes, non-bankers can create stable coins, bankers can create the stable coins too. So just little details in these bills are getting pushed through and revised.
Yeah, and the thing is, the banker stablecoin thing, that's huge, man. That's a big thing, because like the banks obviously they need to do business in crypto. I mean, didn't JP Morgan just say like now their customers can get crypto, can use crypto? You know, like that's the latest thing, right?
Yep, that was the latest. But again, JP Morgan so wishy-washy. It's like, oh, Bitcoin bad. Oh, Bitcoin's good. We're gonna have our private members use it. Oh no, not the regular. But now it's everybody can do it, because, well, again, everyone's just realizing you got to. Like we're at that point where it's like they got to make the change now, otherwise they'll be left behind.
You have to, yeah. I mean, and Chase is, one of the biggest banks on planet Earth, right? You know, so, well, I do think that is really amazing, all that talk, though. So I want to dive deeper into that. I need to go research that. I want to know because the taxation thing has to change. It's unreasonable right now. I don't think anyone is against taxation 100%, but I think we're all against unreasonable taxation, right? You know?
Yes, I agree.
So, and that's where the world we live in is it's totally unreasonable. I mean, Europeans are spending 60 to 80%. The United States, we're spending 60% of our income. Like, it's crazy, man. The amount of taxation, right?
Taxes is the biggest liability on a person's balance sheet.
The biggest liability, man. Yeah, the biggest liability. We got a couple more comments in here, man.
I know. Well, Robin kind of looks like he might be a spammer, just saying we can improve our channel.
That's AI. That's AI right there.
Yeah, but we got God, Cannabis, and Bitcoin. Hi, guys. Nice to see you both. Nice to see you, too. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got quite a nice crowd.
Yeah, man. It's rules. We got to do this more often, Sherpa,
We do. Yes, I know. Like I think just this is the start of it. We're going to do these a lot more. The Steve and Sherpa special.
Yeah, let's get into it, man. I love this stuff. So, you know me, I can rant forever. And so you got to tell me to shut up.
Oh, I do. This is probably one of our longest ones. We've been going for an hour now, over an hour. It's like we probably should wrap it up. But no, I love these conversations we have. Like me and you just really dive into it, just talking. Like we went off topic a bit, talking about programs of television. But that's what I love about these shows and these discussions. So yeah, but no, yeah. So we probably should wrap this up. But yeah, any other thoughts about the conference, Bitcoin?
No, thing? But I will say the taxation thing, I feel like should be everybody's like priority to pay attention to, because that really directly affects our day-to-day existence.
Yes, it does.
Right. And it affects the way we are going to be able to use crypto.
It really will, because they got to solve this. Otherwise, they'll just push us back a couple more years until they can finally figure it out.
Yep, exactly. No fear. That's the key. The key is no fear. We don't fear the tax man.
Exactly. No, we do not.
Because the predictive programming that we all grew up with, no matter what generation we're at here, has us living in fear of the tax man.
Seriously, if you don't pay it, you're going to go to jail. We're watching you. Like, if you don't get this correct, we're coming at you. Oh, but can you tell me what I did wrong? Nope. You got to figure that out. So don't fear them. They got nothing. They're just like little chihuahuas with a loud mouth.
Exactly, man. And real quick, one last thing about the taxation. So, I want to get a Type R, right? And so that car out the door is going to probably cost me about like 52,000 or something like that. So the taxes on it, if I buy it in Florida, I'm saving about $3,000.
Really?
Just saying, taxation, man, it's pretty crazy, right?
It is. Crazy.
Anyway, dude.
Well, I know. Steve, thank you so much. Manny, one last time. What type of R? What, Honda?
Yeah. He that's it. He knows the car. Yeah.
Yep.
No,
not Acura. It's Honda. Yep. All right, Steve. Well, thank you so much for doing the show. We will do this more often. I loved having you on here. Guys, thank you all for tuning in, and we will definitely do more shows. And yeah, watch the Bitcoin conference. It's live right now. So go to Bitcoin Magazine on YouTube.
Yeah. Thanks, Sherp.
You got it, Steve. See ya.
See you, man.